There we go. Welcome. I'm your host, Dustin.
And I'm your co-host, Dean.
Take number 55 for us right now. So sorry about that, Alex and Brandon. Sometimes things just go a little haywire and unexpected. But today we have Alex who does socials for ScreamBox. And Alex, I'll let you kind of talk about a little bit more what you do on the interwebs.
Yeah, thank you. I run the ScreamBox social media. We're ScreamBox TV. You can talk to me on Twitter or Instagram. I'll recommend you movies. I also serve as kind of an in-house publicist. We do an outreach to let people know what we're all about. And then besides all that, I run a site called brokehorrorfan.com, which highlights horror movie merchandise.
Awesome. And I do support Broke Horror because I actually have a few things right here. I don't know.
I noticed. I wasn't sure if you're just buttering me up or if,
no. This one I always have on because I support Salem Horror Fest all year round, forever and ever and ever. And I love Kay, and she's great.
Kay is amazing.
Yeah. So she's a friend of the show too. She was on last year, so that was really, really cool. And moving on to Brandon, who does acquisitions for ScreamBox and Cinedigm and some others. So why don't you take it away and fill everybody in?
Yeah, as you mentioned, that's pretty much what I do. Acquisitions for Cinedigm, and that includes a variety of different channels that we have over here. We have, I think the count is now almost 30 channels all in, but there are select ones, including ScreamBox, where there really are premier channels that we focus on, and and we're doing originals and exclusives and all of that for the channel.
That's awesome.
Cool. We were talking about this earlier on, Dustin. I was asking you, what does that mean, acquisition? What actually is that? What is that, Brandon? What does that mean when you?
Yeah. So funny enough, because it's like something that never is really covered in like film school, right? Yeah. And I kind of lucked out in the sense that after film school a little over a decade ago, I got into the business because I really wanted to understand it a little bit better, and I thought it would help as I was kind of learning production and craft as well, and kind of found that I really love the business side. And acquisitions itself is essentially, depending on the company, because there's a variety of things you could be doing, but the main focus of it is, discovering new films that, would work for your particular brand. And then on top of that, you're really negotiating the deals. So, it's a balancing act, because it's, you do have to do a lot with deals. There's a lot of admittedly Excel grids that kind of become part of the everyday life of an acquisitions person. And then on top of that, you have to be really social, and be talking to filmmakers directly and pitching them on why they should go with you over someone else.
Right.
Wow. That's a big job.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, it is.
Oh man, I can't imagine what you have to go through, sorting through things, and being like, hey, will this be working right for this? I mean, especially for ScreamBox, because it's a baby platform still. It's relatively new. At least I found out about ScreamBox about a month and a half ago. Is that like about the time it like really started like coming up from the surface?
Well, so interestingly enough, back when I first moved to LA, I worked for the person who ended up founding ScreamBox originally. So it kind of came full circle nearly 10 years later, because the platform's been around for quite a while. It just was frankly much smaller and kind of a just different platform than kind of the direction we're going with it. And we ended up acquiring ScreamBox. I think it was a little bit over a year ago, and then
Oh wow.
And then we kind of recently relaunched, and really the whole original exclusive side of things that we've been doing, and that you're now seeing with some of our films like Pennywise. This really, thank you. This really started up in I think our first one was in maybe April, so it's been fairly recent.
Oh wow. Yeah. because I found out about ScreamBox because I saw the Pennywise doc coming, and I was like, oh wow, this is awesome. And I was following the journey of them, getting everything together for the 5 years. And so I reached out to John and Gary and asked them if they wanted to come on, and they did. And we talked about it. Originally, we got, I think, a screener. So I didn't watch it through ScreamBox initially because they sent us a screener, which then Dean also watched the screener as well. And then I went on to ScreamBox and looked through the all the movies that are on there, and then obviously watched Pennywise on there as well. And I have been in love with the platform ever since. I'm always finding new things on there. It's very, very entertaining. I usually send Dean screenshots and everything of
Oh,
what's on there. And
and I'm so jealous. I'm just like, oh, come on, man. See,
Just
I think
taunting you.
yeah, that's exactly what he's doing. Evil man. No, that's what I can't remember how I found out about ScreamBox. I don't know if it was you, Dustin, that told me about it, or someone, maybe a friend of mine, Dan. He's a filmmaker, and he had a movie on Shutter. I think he mentioned it. So I was like, oh, okay. And then I found out it was through Bloody Disgusting. So I've got the Bloody Disgusting app on my phone, and I went
Same.
into that and I clicked on it, and I was like, oh yeah, it is ScreamBox. And I clicked on it, and I clicked log in, and I was like, it's not fucking working.
yeah,
And then I realized, yeah, we can't get it over here in the UK.
unfortunately,
So,
region locked for now.
yeah, man. So I guess that's one of my questions. When, like, I'm guessing you guys are working on trying to get it, overseas across the pond. So we can stream it over here in the UK and Europe and stuff. So kind of where are you at with that?
Yeah, I mean, I would say it's a little bit early days.
Yeah,
for sure.
In the sense that because we just relaunched in the US, and we're doing we in fact, I think fingers crossed, we're going to have the new app running in the US shortly here, which is going to be, it's so much better than what it is currently. So we're really excited about unveiling that.
I'm excited.
Thanks. I think it's going to be much more user friendly and more in line with what we always envisioned. And on top of that, like once that gets going, once we're kind of continuing to build out that sub base, then we can really start the conversations more seriously and going into other territories. And we're getting a lot of people like coming to us and from kind of random countries that are really excited to have a hub for horror, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's a good thing. That's really, really good.
Definitely. How does it work? Oh, sorry, Brandon.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, I think since the Terrifier 2 announcement, we've gotten a tweet, a comment, or a message pretty much every day about like when we're gonna be available, whether it's like UK or Canada or but yeah, I mean it's exciting that people are excited. I wish we could reach everyone, and hopefully someday we can.
Oh, definitely, man. I'm sure you will. How does it work? Because I guess, like, for example, with the Shudder, I know it's different in the US what it is in the UK. And is that because of like licenses or something like that? Because, like, for example, they run the Joe Bob show, and there's some of the show like over there, I think you get the Joe Bob bit, then you get the full movie, and then you get the Joe, the chatting in between. Over here, we just get the chatting, we don't get the movie, and I think it's something to do with I don't know, something to do with licenses perhaps, or is that, I don't know, I don't really know how that works, but it's like basically you guys get cool shit and we don't.
It's like a Dean.
It's totally a licensing thing. So basically, especially in the situation with like Joe Bob, so what they'd have to do is they'd have to clear from likely multiple licensors per film, because someone will own the US, someone will own
different territories.
Right. So if they want to go in the UK, they'd probably have to talk with someone else specifically about that for each movie that they're showing. So it becomes very complicated and probably pretty expensive. So that'll be part of it.
Oh man.
Yeah, makes sense.
Legal stuff sucks, man. Why can't we just have all the good movies? But I get it. Yeah.
But one of the questions. Oh, go ahead, Dean.
I was going to say, we got just talking about the It. We talked about Gary Minnick. I know Gary fairly well from who was involved in the It documentary, and he said like he loved working the ScreamBox. He said you guys have been a pleasure to work with.
Well, that's good to hear.
Yeah.
And they're a great team. I mean, we're hoping to kind of keep that relationship going, and we've got maybe some things in the works that we'll unveil soon. So yeah, but they're amazing.
Yeah. You probably know him too, but John is a local filmmaker, so I've known him for years. We've had stuff play at film festivals together, and I think Pennywise kind of helped put ScreamBox on the map. Our first our first like big kind of thing that we spotlighted. We had the streaming rights to Freddy's Nightmares earlier in the year.
Yep, and I think it just left a week ago.
Yeah.
So I got on pretty late, and I think it's because I think I saw it on Tubi first, and then I don't know, like I saw ScreamBox popping up, and that's about the time I saw it, and I don't know, I was just like, oh man, I don't know if I want to get into another streaming platform. And then Pennywise showed up. I was like, you know what, I have to.
Well, we totally understand that. I mean, I'm the same way. I'm subscribed to like 10 different things. But that's kind of our job, is to win you over. We want to show you, like, we're different. we have really cool exclusives, plus we have a great library of content. But yeah, so Freddy's Nightmares, I think a lot of people were kind of trepidatious because they were like, at the time it was the only place you could stream it, so it was very exciting, but they're like, do we need another streaming platform? But then I think Pennywise kind of brought us to the next level, where it's like, oh no, they're serious. This is, something we need to pay attention to. And then the recent Terrifier 2 announcement just kind of blew the roof off it, where, we just saw an influx of people kind of discovering us, and it's been really fun to kind of show them what we're all about.
Yeah,
it's really funny too, because I actually had David Howard Thornton on maybe I think it was last month. So he was originally supposed to come on the day that he got the announcement from you and Damien, and saying that they're going to be going to ScreamBox. And then we talked about it. I was like, is it the reason why you couldn't come on is because you got the announcement of you're going to be on ScreamBox? Is like, yep. I'm like, dude, this is insane. So it was really, really fun to talk to him, and also seeing all things that I love as a horror fan. I love Terrifier. I grew up with it, the original one. And just seeing it all in one place and not anywhere else that they're together is awesome as a horror fan. And thank you guys for, pulling all the strings to getting this stuff done.
Well, thank you for saying that. Just wait until you see Terrifier 2. If you like the first one, this one's gonna
I have to keep away from the reviews. Everybody's posting. I'm like, I can't.
Man,
I can't.
Let me tell you, I'm absolutely gutted, because I did an event over the weekend, because I make all my own kind of like horror theme hot sauces. So I was doing a chili festival over the weekend, and it was the bank holiday weekend, so Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And on the Monday, we were already tied into this event, but my partner brought to my attention that Terrifier 2 Fright Fest was holding the world premiere for Terrifier 2 in London, which is like, like a 40-minute drive from where we were. And we went online and we checked tickets, and they were only like £15. It was super, super cheap. And we were like, we were trying to get out of this event. I was like, we have to go and see that, on the big screen, Fright Fest, all these horror fans. And then when we sort of found cover for the stand, we went back and all the tickets were sold out. I was like, damn.
But I'm sorry, but as far as excuses go, like hot sauce at a chili festival, horror themed hot sauce at a chili festival, like that's a damn good excuse. So.
Yeah, Dean makes really good hot sauces. I actually have his little box right here. Unfortunately, it doesn't sell in the US yet. We're trying to get him a distributor, so we're getting there.
Oh yeah, I think we're going to be at Salem Horror Fest next year in April, I think. But we're trying to get it out to the US. Yeah. But yeah, no, that was we were sort of tied up at that, and nearly made it to the Terrifier 2 premiere, but I heard nothing but good things, man. Everyone's been raving about it.
The goriest film they've ever seen is right.
2.5 hours. 2.5 hours long as well. It's quite a long film, isn't it?
Yeah, we're really excited about the feedback. It's been pretty much unanimously positive. And yeah, I mean, we can't wait for more people to see it. It's yeah, like I said, if you like the first one, I can't give anything away, but you're definitely gonna love this one.
I was gonna try to make it to Fantastic Fest 2 to go and see it, but I'm like, I'm just so caught up with work and doing the show. I'm like, I can't. But I got an email from Judy, one of their PR people, and we might be getting lucky. I'm just gonna say that. I might be getting like with a screener. So who knows? You never know. The world may never know.
Well,
You
I'll
know.
definitely say, like when I was screening it initially before we started kind of the negotiations on it, I was, I was already familiar with Terrifier, of course, but I was just honestly blown away with how this one, how this one was kind of pulled off, and it really, like, in my opinion, has some of the best kills we've seen in years in the
Wow.
genre.
That
So
makes me
I
very
mean,
excited.
yeah, I mean, I was, and it's rare that I come away and go, wow, that was like, actually the kills were so impressive, and I haven't seen anything that creative in a minute. And it really, just blew my mind. And so we were immediately, not only that, but also like the story and everything else. It just, it has a lot there, and Damien and team really, stepped it up.
Also, are we
Ye-
talking more creative than the kill where in the first one where he's got the chick upside down and the saw? And that's a very creative kill. That one.
Yeah, that
Judge for
was,
yourself pretty soon. It's
yeah.
there's definitely some
Yeah.
contenders.
I
And
can't
also,
wait.
like Brandon alluded to, really, Damien really stepped up as a filmmaker and a storyteller, in addition to the effects, which are obviously incredible. But yeah, I mean, just all around, really solid filmmaking.
That's
It's
brilliant.
awesome. I'm glad to hear that, because we need more freshness in the horror world. I mean, there's horror everywhere now. It's thriving, and we really are, as I keep saying to a lot of my friends and even on this show, that we are in like a horror renaissance. And I'm sure Alex and Brandon, you guys are both seeing it on your end from being on social media all the time, and also looking at movies and being like, hey, this is really cool, we should maybe put this on Screenbox or something down the line. And it's really cool to see how much horror is out there and how much different it is for how much that's coming out. You would think things would kind of blend in and be the same, but that's not the case. It's really because of this how our world is too at this state as well. With everything going on. Obviously, people have a lot of stories they want to tell, and they do it through horror. And yeah, it's awesome to have another platform like Screenbox to showcase even more of whether it's independent horror, whether it's a documentary, whether it's a feature length film, whatever it may be. It's really awesome, and I really do thank both of you for really broadening the horror experience for folks like Dean and myself.
I'm gonna go ahead and say you're welcome.
But Alex, I have a question I wanted to ask you. Since you are on social media all the time, what is like the biggest thing that you've been seeing? Is it people posting reviews about Screenbox? Is it more people just I don't know, posting just posters about movies? I know Pussy Cake just came out too, and we reviewed that movie because you were kind enough to kind of set us up for a screener on that. And we also have I think most of the team coming on next week to talk about it too. So that must have been really exciting to see all the positive feedback for it being out today.
Yeah, I will say what I've seen the most of, again, in the last month or so, it's Terrifier 2. Every day people asking, well, for a long time it was, when are we going to see a trailer? Then we finally got the trailer. Then it's like,
Yeah.
now we have a theatrical date, which, if I can put on my PR hat for a second, October 6th, you'll be able to see Terrifier 2 on the big screen. Then it'll come to Screenbox at a later date to be announced. But yeah, so now everyone's wondering when they're going to have the list of theaters, which, if you go to terrifier2thefilm.com, I think that's the right URL.
Yeah.
You can sign up to be put on a mailing list to be alerted when they announce the theaters.
And you bet your ass I did as soon as they posted it.
But yeah, I mean,
Sure.
everyone is really hyped about that, which is exciting. It makes my job fun, makes my job easy, because everyone's already excited for it.
Yeah.
But beyond that, yes, we've been focusing on Pussy Cake recently. As you said, out today, which is exciting. Again, got a lot of really great reviews. Prior to us getting involved, it already had like a good film festival kind of history and played some cool events. But now everyone else can see it. If this is your first time hearing Pussy Cake, I know that's a weird title. Don't let it put you off. It's an Argentinian splatterfest. My sort of elevator pitch is Evil Dead meets Josie and the Pussycats covered in bodily
Yes.
fluids.
Yeah, this is super
So
bonkers film.
yeah, it's fun. And then occasionally, what I enjoy most is like somebody will be like, I like movie whatever XYZ. What's on ScreamBox that's like that? Or somebody's like, I'm a found footage fan, or I like slashers. It's just like, I don't know, fun. I mean, I'm a nerd who likes to talk about movies, so if I get to do that with people who are also subscribed to ScreamBox, it just kind of makes my life complete.
Yeah.
Going back to Pussycat, I thought there was some of it reminded me of like some really early Peter Jackson.
Oh yeah, I think that was a big time influence. Peter Jackson and Sam Raimi seem to be kind of definitely like the
Some
cornerstones of that.
Yeah, there's a bit of brain deadism in there in places and a bit of bad taste. Yeah, yeah, very cool. I didn't see it coming as well. I didn't see it coming. I think it doesn't really kick it. I'm trying to think because I watched it twice. I'm trying to think when it really sort of kicks in. I was just like, whoa! When he first starts seeing are they like zombie?
Yeah, whatever you want to call them. I called them. I think I just called them zombies. Yeah.
I mean, zombie as like a blanket term. I think a vague term. You'd say zombies. Although I feel like some purists would get mad because they're not.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But
But I mean, they're ravenous monsters of some kind that want to kill you.
Yeah, definitely. And all the heads in the sand. That's that bit.
It's so strange. It's so cool.
Yeah, I'm not sure I could explain why that exists, but I love it. It's such a cool image. I don't know if you guys have ever seen Motel Hell, but I think maybe that was the inspiration for that.
Yeah, right.
It's just such a cool, creepy visual.
Yeah. It's like a nightmare, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh man.
Very cool.
Definitely not one I want to be a part of. Brandon, this might be more of a question for you. So what are ScreamBox's I guess main goals at this point? I know that we have the update that we're patiently waiting, but other than that, is there anything else that you can speak upon goal wise?
Yeah, I mean, I think right now, especially because we're in sort of a still an early phase of the new ScreamBox and whatnot, a lot of the focus has been just bringing in really kind of cool and unexpected films, and including Terrifier and Pennywise, etc. And we're trying to curate so it's not like a ridiculous amount of films all at once, but also we're not looking to just pick up anything. We're trying to find stuff that we as fellow horror fans really love and think the rest of the community will be into, right? And at the same time, we really want to set ourselves apart from Shudder. We're not looking to just replicate whatever they've been doing. We're really kind of setting our own path.
Exactly. And I guess that kind of leads on to my my next question is, what kind of makes you stand out against platforms like Shudder? If you had to tell somebody right now who's listening to the show who has never heard of ScreamBox, what would you say to them?
Yeah, and I guess Alex and I could both maybe jump in here. Do you want to start, Alex?
I was on a show the other day, and I coined this phrase, and now I'm going to repeat it because it sounds like something a publicist wrote. We're not trying to be the next Shudder. We want to be the first ScreamBox.
I like that. Hell yeah.
We love Shudder. I'm a loyal subscriber to Shudder. But like as a horror fan, separating myself from the business end of it, the more options, the more content, like the better it is for everyone. And I mean, competition also breeds creativity.
That's exactly what I was saying.
So I mean, there's not only do I think there's room for both of us, but also I think it benefits everyone, both companies and users. I'll let Brandon speak more to the actual film side of it because we have a lot of unique stuff to offer there. But I mean, I think not necessarily in terms of Shudder, but in terms of other streaming services. If you're asking like, why I need ScreamBox if I have, Netflix, Hulu, and Prime or whatever it may be. I think the big difference is that, I mean, of course, we're dedicated to horror, but we're also, and I think this will be reflected in our conversation, we're horror fans first and foremost. Like we're not, corporate bigwigs who are just
that's like important
buying up titles because we think people are gonna, subscribe to us. Obviously, we want to stay in business, we want subscribers, but we're also championing movies that we believe in, movies that we're cool, that we think are cool, that we want to share with other people, that we think they'll enjoy as well.
I respect that. That's awesome. Brendan?
Yeah, and also I'll just add that one of the things that we look at when we're acquiring new titles is thinking about like what is kind of missing in the current space that maybe we like as fans really wanted to see that isn't really, I guess, around on other streaming services and whatnot. And I think maybe a good example of that is kind of the path we're going with Pennywise, which I can certainly say is not going to be the only genre doc that we've got coming up here. And I think that's a space that we've found maybe isn't being as utilized as it could be. And we're getting some great stuff in right now that we think is going to be very exciting for our subscribers and hopefully new subscribers and fans that are coming in. So I think that's a big thing, is like finding those pockets of titles and awesome filmmakers that maybe just haven't had their time to shine just yet, but we have an opportunity, that could kind of present itself a little bit. And so I think that's a big part of it. I'm looking at.
That's awesome. And I respect that too, giving some other people a little bit of, light that might be harder to get on like other services like Shudder, because right now Shudder is giant, especially compared to ScreamBox, who's really just trying to, rise up and be this new thing. And I love ScreamBox is great. I've actually haven't watched Shudder in probably about a month and a half, because I've just been going through the catalog on Shudder. I mean on ScreamBox, sorry. I've been going through the catalog on ScreamBox and just going through there. There was a movie that I never heard of. And I think Alex saw me tweeting about it or something, and it was a Fender Bender, and I love that movie now. Like, holy shit, that is a really an underrated slasher. It was great.
I'm a big fan of that one. I'm glad you brought it up. We have a lot of gems like that hidden in the library that aren't necessarily originals, but they're just good movies that we're lucky enough to have streaming. That one, what I love is, I mean, Halloween, you're wearing a Halloween shirt right now. That's my favorite movie. And what I like about Fender Bender is it's a throwback slasher, but I feel like a lot of those kind of ape like Friday the 13th. If you're doing like an 80s throwback, it usually gets like campy.
Yeah.
And it's like out in the woods and masked guy coming around. But this one, it's more suspense driven, like Carpenter and set kind of in a suburbia. I don't know. Yeah, I was super impressed with that movie. So I'm glad you found that one.
Yeah, and hopefully everybody else goes to check it out on ScreamBox. Like, seriously, go get ScreamBox. It's a great platform.
For the name ScreamBox, the Shudder as well. It's much cooler.
It really is. It really is.
No disrespect, I love Shudder, but ScreamBox just sounds fucking cool, doesn't it?
Well, thank you.
Yeah,
I know you guys said that you're doing your own thing. You're not copying any other platform or anything like that at all. But do you have? I'm just using Shudder as an example. Like they have the show exclusive Joe Bob. Are you planning on doing anything like that? With like not with Joe Bob, but like the similar kind of show, something along those lines. I think you already run some Elvira's, right?
Yeah, we do, and there I will say I can't say too much, but I'll say that there are conversations around something in that kind of ballpark, even though it's totally different than Joe Bob. And there's also separately a more fictional kind of original series that's kind of in the works that it probably won't actually release till around this time next year, but it is in the works, and we'll have more info to share on that soon. But yes, we're definitely, like, beyond films, we're looking at other series and other properties to kind of expand on.
Yeah, there's definitely only one Joe Bob. I watch that religiously, but yeah, we have some exciting stuff in the works. And as you mentioned, Dean, we have 13 Nights of Elvira on ScreamBox, which is a series she did a few Halloweens ago. I want to say it originally aired on Hulu. But you can watch it with us now. It's her hosting 13 movies. Most of them are full moon entertainment movies, which is awesome. A mixed bag of fun. And she also does Night of Living Dead, because she hosts that with basically every incarnation of Elvira. She's done Night of Living Dead. Yeah. So if you're looking for something fun, like a fun way to kind of count down to Halloween this year, that's a great pick.
Very cool.
Yeah, I was making my way through most of those. I think I got a few left. I saw, I was like, ooh, Elvira, you can never go wrong. You know, that's awesome. Dean, I'll let you throw some questions if you have any more.
So I guess what was Bloody Disgusting's involvement with ScreamBox? I know it's through Bloody Disgusting. Yeah, what's the involvement? Is it like a separate entity, or do they have a say in the movies that get put onto ScreamBox? Or
Yeah, I mean, so essentially Cinedigm acquired Blade Disgusting. And so Blade Disgusting and ScreamBox are more or less one and the same in a sense, because Blade Disgusting's team is very much hands-on and basically running and managing ScreamBox. And then, you know, I'm on the acquisitions end of that. And then, you know, Alex, as mentioned, is doing a bunch on the socials. So
yeah.
All right, awesome. Alex, I don't know if you had anything you wanted to add to that.
No, Brandon is eloquent as always. But yeah, I'm very fortunate. I read Blood Discussing for like half my life before I started writing there. So it's really cool to kind of work with that team, people I've been reading for years, people who kind of inspired me to write. So yeah, it's awesome. It's a dream come true.
Yeah, I think Brad was going to try to make it tonight too, but unfortunately, with his son, he wasn't able to make it. So we're going to set up another probably interview with Brad from Bloody Disgusting. That would be really, really cool to kind of talk to one of the founders of Bloody Disgusting. I know that you both work in tandem with them in ScreamBox, so it's awesome to have anybody on that has any kind of work with Bloody Disgusting, because I'm also a huge fan of them. I have the app on my phone too, and I will read everything that they post. Any of the updates, like upcoming films, and now that they're announcing all of the ScreamBox stuff coming out, I'm just like, I can't be more in heaven with my horror stuff. It's great.
I don't read a newspaper, man. Bloody Disgusting's my newspaper. I don't know. Whatever else is going on in the world's way too depressing. I'll just go straight to Bloody Disgusting.
I was just going to say, horror movies are less bleak than the real world these days. So
yeah.
Horror's my happy place, man. It's my happy place.
Same here.
Yeah, for sure. So I guess Dustin, I'll let you go, man. I'll let you go.
I think I'm pretty much done with all my questions. Like, you guys have answered them pretty much to the T. Just about what the platform is like and how it's different. And then what you guys have coming out. Obviously, everybody's really excited for Terrifier 2. If you're not excited for Terrifier 2, then I don't know if you're human. And then the Pussycat came out today, which we really highly recommend that you go and watch that one. And another really cool thing that I like about ScreamBox that a lot of other platforms don't do is the length of your free trial. And this is another thing I wanted to, I guess I can ask this one, was since they usually do like 7-day free trial, you guys do 30-day free trial. Now, what was it like coming up with, we're going to do an entire month free for anybody who signs up? So what was it like, deciding that? I'm not sure if you guys had any involvement with that.
That's a good question. I mean, I don't know that I don't know that either of us have a exact answer there, other than from at least from my perspective, I think we really want to build up that loyal audience and show that we have a lot to offer. And quite honestly, especially with what I know is coming down the pipeline, I think people are going to see the value and want to stick around. So 30 days is kind of us saying, trust us. We're bringing in some pretty awesome stuff the rest of the year and into next year, and we're gonna make it well worth everyone's time.
Yeah, I second that. It's definitely worth it.
Yeah, I mean, Brandon hit the nail on the head, but just to add to that, I think it's also, I mean, as we alluded to before, there's so many options out there. We want to give people time to kind of explore our library and show that it is worth it. And then if you do decide to sign up, we're only $5 a month, which I think is cheaper than most other streaming services as well.
Yeah.
So we try to make it, affordable. We try to make it worth your while, and we want to kind of ensure people that, you're going to get way more than you pay for. It's, cheaper than renting one movie and you get hundreds.
Yeah. I can agree on that, 'cause since I'm an avid user of ScreamBox, like there's a lot on there. I haven't even gone through, I think, half of the catalog, because I'm always finding something new. And that's what I really like about the app itself, is that how it really draws you into things. And the front page, I'm really excited to see what the new update's going to be, because of how it already looks. I love it. And I love the ScreamBox like slasher logo every time you watch a movie, and the sound effects. It's so 80s. It's amazing. It's just I watch movies just for that intro. Seriously. Dean, I don't know if you have any more questions. I think I'm all set.
I mean, as soon as ScreamBox hits the UK, you've definitely got to subscribe. I can't really say too much else because I can't get it. I'm learning off of you guys, and I can't wait for it to be available in the UK. But yeah, you've for sure 100%. You've definitely got a subscriber in me, man. I can't wait. And actually, when I come over to Florida, maybe I can watch it for 2 weeks whilst I'm out there.
There you go.
There you go. Get yourself a 30-day free trial.
I might subscribe.
Yeah, get the trial, Dean.
I might get the 30-day trial for the 14 days that I'm there, and then
you won't regret it. I promise you.
But yeah, no, I can't wait until it comes this side of the pond, man. It sounds incredible, and I know you can't give away too much. You can't say about what you got in the pipeline and stuff like that, but I'm pretty damn sure. But judging by what you guys are doing already, it's gonna kick ass.
Yeah, I'll go ahead, Alex.
I was just I can tell you about a couple titles that we've already announced, if that's cool.
Ooh, yeah,
do it.
So I mean, we talked a bunch about Pussy Cake. That's out now. We're very excited about that one. Our next original is When the Screaming Starts. Excuse me. That's coming September 20th, and it's a mockumentary about a serial killer. It's kind of what I like to say is it does for serial killers what we do in the shadows did for vampires.
Amazing.
Okay.
It's very, very funny, but also kind of, obviously has the horror lean to it.
Love that.
Beyond that, we have a movie called Deep Fear, which is kind of like The Descent, but in the catacombs under Paris, and it's set in the 80s.
I'm sold.
It's claustrophobic. It's a cool one, but it also has this, which obviously I'm not going to give away here, but there's kind of this reveal midway through the movie that kind of turns it on its head. That I don't know. I think it'll be a little.
I love movies like that.
It'll be a little divisive, but I think like the people who are into it are going to be super into it. So I'm excited to see the reaction of that.
That sounds incredible.
And then we have this movie called All Jacked Up and Full of Worms, which is just this insane, depraved, gory movie about hallucinogenic worms.
Wow, that sounds like part of a Slipknot tune.
but at its core, it's like it has all this Cronenbergian crazy stuff, but at its core, it's kind of this like poignant story about loneliness. So it's like, it's not just gore for gore's sake. There's merit to it. So that's all the stuff we've announced so far, but we have a ton of cool titles beyond that we're really excited for people to find out about in the near future.
And are those ones ScreamBox exclusives, are they?
Yes, those ones I mentioned are all exclusives.
Oh, they sound epic.
And we also, by the way, we have one of their, or at least a couple other exclusives coming up here, including Rise of the Synths, which we recently announced, and that's going to be doc about the synthwave scene, narrated by John Carpenter.
Cool.
I'm excited for that one. I saw that. I was like, I cannot wait.
Yeah, it's awesome. And we also, partnered up with Synapse and are doing, the Satan's Little Helper. Essentially, it's going to be the unrated cut that's never before been streamed. So we're going to have dibs on that as an exclusive. So we're really excited to unveil that in October.
Yeah, I saw that one too, and I was so hyped. I shared the hell out of that. I was like, yes. So you guys are nailing it out of the park. Seriously.
I love the sound of the Catacombs movie, man. I love films like that.
Yeah, I think you're gonna dig it. We also have it's not an original, but we just because I want to say this out loud, in September we have a movie called Zombie Ass Toilet of the Dead.
Hell yes, I'm in.
It's a Japanese horror comedy, so keep an eye out for that.
Hell yeah, that's so great. And we're gonna try our best to cover all the originals that are coming out in ScreamBox.
100%.
Watching Pennywise, I'm watching Pussy Cake, and now we got Terrifier 2 coming out and all these other crazy titles. I'm so excited for the future of horror and the future for ScreamBox, really. And wonderful job on both of you and everybody else, on the team over at ScreamBox and Bloody Disgusting and Cinetime. Like really, you're really you're doing it right, especially from the consumer standpoint. Definitely doing it in a very friendly manner. You're not trying to be too predatory. Like you see that a lot on some platforms out there now, especially like Netflix, because they're losing a lot of subscribers. But no, you guys are very welcoming, really easy to talk to too. You guys are always on socials, especially you, Alex. You're very, very easy to get in contact with. So if anybody else has any other questions for the fellows over and everybody at ScreamBox, go ahead and shoot them a message or type on a I don't know, any kind of post or anything, and I'm sure you guys will respond.
Yeah, thank you so much for all the kind words. And yeah, if anyone does have any additional questions, we're at ScreamBox TV on Twitter and Instagram. I'm there basically all day, every day. So if you need anything, you want to hear more about anything we mentioned here, you want to know more about our library, you just want some movie recommendations, stuff that's on ScreamBox or stuff that's not, for that matter. I'm just a horror fan at the end of the day. We're a community. We got to build each other up. So yeah, we're happy to be a part of it.
Yeah, and thank you both for taking some time away and coming to talk to us. I know it's a bit of a rocky start for my technology issues, but yeah, this was a very educational and uplifting interview and learning a little about the platform and where it's going and involvements and whatnot. And we're here for it, and we're going to be supporting you guys all the way through. I'm very, very excited.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
And I think that's pretty much all that I have to ask. Dean, I don't know if you have anything else
Yeah,
you
no,
wanted
I'm
to ask.
done, guys. Yeah, just reiterate what Dustin was just saying. Thanks so much for coming on and chatting to us. And yeah, I'm learning about Scream. Obviously, we don't get over here just yet, but I'm so excited for when we do, man. And I'm jumping straight in. So yeah, keep it up over there and keep working on getting it over here because I'm awaiting.
Hell yeah, get that 30-day free trial when you get over here, Dean. Seriously.
Oh, you bet. No, but thanks as well for some of the screeners you sent us, because introducing us to movies like Pissy Cake, man, what a movie that was a trip. The Pennywise doc and all the other great stuff that I'm sure you've got coming as well. So yeah, awesome work.
Yeah, so thank you guys so much, and this will be us signing off. This was the Barrens Hideout Podcast. I was your host, Dustin.
And I'm your co-host, Dean of the Dead.
And as our special guests, Alex and Brandon, who work with ScreamBox and Bloody Disgusting. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you for the support. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, man.